Okay. Well, good evening, boys and girls, and ladies and gentlemen. My name's Ethan, as you know, and me and Jody here are going to be going over the PAPR today, or the Powered Air Purifying Respirator. Last week, it was unbeknownst to most that we actually do have one of these at Fayette County, and Michelle is currently working on getting additional hoods of various sizes so that all of us can be fit into at least one of the three sizes. Right now we have a small hood. Bingo. She's working on getting medium and larges now, and I've even heard, I don't know if this is true, I've even heard that they may be making custom XL PAPR hoods now for those of us with truly ginormous melons. I'm serious. Anyway, so we thought this would be a good opportunity to, in addition to our earlier PPE demonstration today, kind of run over the PAPR. Jody and I both have the opportunity to work with these at Air St. Luke's, and so we have a little more knowledge just as far as their operations and their benefits than most. So don't hesitate to wear this if you have a COVID positive transfer, or just if you, like some people failed the fit testing for their N95s at my other job, and so they have to wear these on any even possible exposure. So without further ado here, I'm going to kind of run through the steps of the PAPR. I'm going to step out of the way and let Jody take center stage. So to begin, so she's got all the stuff laid out. She's got the hood, which she showed you. Okay, she's got her gown. She's got the air hose, and it is covered. Okay, now when a PAPR first comes, that will not come covered. It's something you just have to put on top of the hose there, and it does, an important role just as far as keeping the hose itself virus free and contagion free and stuff like that. Then you have kind of the main unit itself, which has the motor, all that stuff, really what's going to be moving the continuous air and keeping you safe in your hood. The power button is up top in the blue. Okay, the strap is adjustable to most anything. I've seen some ginormous human beings in these, and I've seen some itty bitty ones. And then in front of Jody is the battery. When fully charged, it will go for quite a while. It should give you no problems from getting all the way through a call from start to finish, the whole shebang. There is a test on the battery itself, right there, so you can see it's fully charged. It's similar to our LifePack batteries. You just hit the button, lights up 4 bars if it's all the way charged, and obviously goes down proportionally for what the charge is. Now, just kind of laying out everything she has and making sure that all the things you guys are seeing this applies, you at least are familiar vaguely right now with what they are. And if you know how the PAPRs work, great. This could just be a refresher, or if we're missing anything, please post something or let us know. But as far as the training that I've gotten and that Jody's received at our other gig, it's definitely helpful for us out here to be able to have this resource, and hopefully we'll be able to keep using it once we get some different size hoods for people.
Also, the unit is going to be kept in rig 5,
Yes.
and the battery is going to be on the charger, continuously charging in there. So you'll see the 3M black bag on the back of the rig.
And please, just like with the LifePack, make sure this battery is either charging or charged and plugged in at all times, because there's nothing worse, and I have seen it, than getting on a COVID positive patient, going to use your trump card here as far as safety goes, and realizing my battery's completely dead because it wasn't plugged in enough and didn't charge. And it's not like we have a ton of backups lying around. So in a situation like that, it can seriously delay things and put providers at greater risk for a simple thing like a battery. So please make sure it's charging, just like with the LifePacks. Be as diligent with this as you all are with those. Anyway, step back out. Okay, so first of all, you're going to want to remove all of your personal items, such as jewelry, keys, phones. Basically, the less, the better. I know in EMS that's slightly impractical because we do carry a lot of junk on our belts, including radios and phones and Raptors and whatnot. Try to strip down whatever you can. We don't need the full freaking bat belt on, when you're using this. So now that that's off, and she's, you're going to make sure you have the PAPR unit. Now, normally in a non-crisis scenario, when they have enough to go around and we're not worried about resources and stuff like that, when you first get your hood, you'll get sized to see what size you are. Really not that hard. There's a fitting mechanism on the inside of the hood that can adjust in size small, medium, and large, obviously. Jody can kind of show the white. Yeah, there you go. You can expand it, to your own personal melon shape, and get it as snug as possible. Comfortable. It's not supposed to hurt you or cut off blood flow or anything, but you want it snug and tight. And so normally in a non-crisis scenario, you would want to write your name, put a label maker on it, do something on the hood, just to make sure that it's yours, that nobody else confuses that hood for theirs, and just little things like that we can avoid. With this, please don't put your name on it. We don't have a lot of these as of right now. This is the only one, so please don't decide to label it or we're going to make fun of you. Secondly, Jody is going to test both the batteries.
We only have one,
Okay,
but
so we're going to check the one battery that we do have,
if you push
which we did earlier.
that button right there,
It's on the underside. Now, I've also, just to point out about the battery, these contacts right here, I guess that's really it. These contacts, after you're done everything and you're sanitizing, whatever, it is obviously very smart to wipe down the battery. Do not wipe the contacts. We've had batteries completely cease functioning altogether just from a brief exposure to any type of alcohol wipe or anything. Don't wipe the contacts. They're not cheap. Please don't. Wipe around them, do whatever you need to do. Okay, so now that the battery has been tested, she's gonna take her hose.
I'm going to apply that battery. So the battery's in, sorry.
Okay, oh, no, you're right. So what Jody just did, we just kind of skipped a couple steps, that's okay. She put the battery into the main unit. It just clicks right into the bottom. Real easy, plug and play, just like the life packs. So it goes right into the bottom. You'll feel it click. You'll hear it click. There's a blue knob on the side to release the battery, as she's pointing out right there. So anyway, right now she's going to connect the hose. She's going to connect the hose both to the PAPR unit itself and to the rear of the hood. So if you can just kind of show where that, yep. And I don't know if you could hear that click, but there is an audible click when you're actually sealed onto the hood here. So basically the plug-in's right at the top of the hood. Okay, if it's loose or anything like that, just feel it, pull on it gently. Make sure that it's not going to be popping off or anything like that, mid-contact with a COVID patient. Let's avoid that. So her hoses are hooked up. Now she's going to go ahead and put the PAPR around her waist. The actual unit itself. Just set the hood down, anywhere that it's safe to do so. And this is another reason why empty your dang bat belt here. You can see Jody's doing it a little bit higher up. That's fine, wherever it's going to comfortably fit, where that you can have easy access to it, stuff like that. Notice how the PAPR unit itself is behind. It's slightly to the side, or some people wear it directly behind. She is going to have to access the unit to test it, to check it, to make sure we're good. Some people have their partners do that. However, knowing how to do it yourself and what you need to be looking for and checking for is obviously the best. So somewhere behind you or to your side where you can easily access it and get to it. Okay, so where Jody has it's fine. Make sure the belt's tight. Again, you don't want it dropping off or sliding down mid-contact with the COVID patient. So PAPR unit is around the waist. It's a nice snug fit. Now what she's going to do is she's going to turn on the PAPR. And basically what it's going to do, there's a blue button on top. You just heard the beep. Well, probably not over my loud mouth, but when you turn on the PAPR, hold down the blue button on top briefly. It'll beep on, and then it will do a series of self-checks, okay? It's basically, at this point, checking the airflow, checking the motor, checking the filter, if one of these things are not in place, it will alarm, or if one of these things is not performing properly, it will alarm. The nice thing about the PAPR is it will let you know when something's not correct. If one of the small little snags is that the filter inside the PAPR unit itself can sometimes misalign, and obviously if it's misaligned, it's not going to filter properly or optimally, and it will let you know if that is the case. So listen to your unit. Okay, so right now the PAPR is doing its self-check. It takes about 30 seconds, it's probably done. Yeah, good, bueno, bueno. So right now, before Jody does anything else, she's gonna do some hand hygiene. Wash your hands, sanitizer.
I did do that before I
Well,
started
yeah,
touching.
she's more the merrier here.
That's right. Dry my hands even more.
All right, so once those hands are dry, she's gonna actually put the hood of the PAPR on now.
There's a little tab on the bottom that you can hold on to. And then the foam goes on your forehead and the white part goes on your head, just like a ball cap. And then you can pull it down.
I know she might be hard to hear now with the hood on, but basically what she's saying is that foam will sit right across your forehead. If anyone's ever put on a football helmet, okay, it'll sit right across your forehead like a football helmet. I'm not sure how well you can tell that with her right now, but if you could turn that. That's fine. And then as you can see, the hose stays connected, just hangs down in the back, okay? The outside of the mask is gonna come right up. It's not supposed to cover the ear. Don't tuck your ears in, it'll break the seal. Don't do any silliness like that. People have tried to do that for some freaking unknown reason. I've seen people try to tuck their ears up into the PAPR. Just don't. It's designed to go around and outside and come down. It's gonna go down. It's gonna go down underneath your chin, just like an N95, and then wrap up and around the other ear, okay? She wears glasses, that's fine, not a problem. That's one of the nice things about the PAPR too, is it's flexible, you can do that and you're okay. Yeah, that's a good point. This blue film that you see, take that off. New hoods come with this film. When you go to use it, just peel the film off. It's fine for the demonstration purposes, but when you're actually in the field going to use it, just peel the blue off. It's a little easier. All right, let me step back. Next, so now that she's got it on, it's fit properly. It's a good, tight, snug fit on her head, right? When she moves her head, it's not wiggling all around. It's not sliding all around, right? Even as she moves her head like that, it's staying in place. Now she's going to go ahead and put on her gown over top of the PAPR unit. And just like in our last PPE video, as I'm sure you all know by now, we're gonna tie the gown in the back, and I can help you with the back tie if you need it there, Jody.
Thank you.
If you're like me, you really, really suck at tying in the back. If that's the case, have your partner do it. Teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Your partner should be checking anyways.
That is correct. Jody just said your partner should be checking anyways. I don't know how well you can hear her in the hood, but I'll just keep repeating everything she says. All right, so she's getting her gown on. Now notice there are no thumb holes, just like our last video as well. No thumb holes in these gowns. Make some, because your gloves are going to need to go over top of the gown on your wrist and lower forearm there. So if it doesn't have a hole, real easy, just punch one with your thumb. Not that hard. Want me to tie you?
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha. No problem. So we're gonna tie it over the unit, right? So basically we're gonna, as best we can, even though we're gonna have to access it, it's best to just try to keep some kind of coverage over the unit itself. Okay, oops, sorry, I lost you. There you go. So just tie right over the hose here. Not too tight, nothing like that, but you know, make it stay. Tying skills. Oh, well, okay, no, it works. It works. I'm just a little too macho apparently, and I'm just ripping things. But, all right, you know what? We're tied.
Good enough.
We're tied. We're good. Okay. I'm just busting gowns. Oh man, gowns and me just don't get along today apparently. Okay, so anyway, guys, that's tied in the back. Just roll with it. All good. So now gloves. She's gonna obviously glove up. These gowns and me don't get along today, do they? If you guys saw the last video, you know my struggle with gowns. All right. So notice how she's putting the gloves on over top, using the thumb hole, not going. She's not bringing the gown over top of the gloves like I've seen some people do. Just don't. As everyone knows and is has abundantly mocked me for by this time, I have transported now 7 COVID positive patients confirmed, and I am proof that PPE works. So I know the little things may seem tedious and silly, but they work. It's not worth taking the chance. So anyway, gloves over the gown. Okay, so she's running her PAPR. Now, go ahead and turn around. These indicator lights back here, right? When this is all flowing and good, and the air, I guess I should turn around. When this is all flowing and good, right? PAPR's running. Jody, do you feel air flowing?
Yeah.
So basically what it's doing now is it's recycling air. It's recycling air, pushing it into the hood, pulling it back out, and then filtering, okay?
And it's rather cool.
Yeah, and
It's cool air.
it's not gonna make you sweat. I
Right.
mean, any worse than you might already sweat if you're me. But anyway, so yeah, as it pushes air in, it'll pull air out, filter it, keep recycling, and that's how you stay safe. As long as this hood, you shouldn't be feeling a bunch of leaks around the outside. If there is, you're not sealed or fitted as well as you could be, okay? Anyway, so if something's wrong, if it's not filtering, if the motor's going down, if the battery's dying, it will yell at you. There's a couple display lights on the back. Green lights are basically going to tell you, just very abbreviated version, green lights are basically going to tell you that you're running just fine, okay? There's a bar, a green bar that will fill with 4 green lights that basically when you're up to optimal flow, and there's different flow settings you can do and stuff like that if you need to. For the most part, don't worry about that. Just turn it on, let it do its thing. It'll flow what it needs to. But when that's flowing appropriately, that bar will be completely lit up green. If it's not, it'll be diminished. It can turn red, which means basically we're having massive problems. It's either not filtering or we're just not getting any flow and there's a problem with the motor. Okay, so now she can run the call, do her thing. Now we're going to talk about taking the PAPR off in the next one. Okay, thanks.